Good evening, my name is Garrett and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Waterloo Gin. This is their Prickly Pear and Rose Gin, coming in at a 47% ABV. Now for full disclosure, this bottle was sent over from Waterloo Gin for us to take a look at and a review, so just keeping that transparency open. So Waterloo Gin just recently went through a whole rebranding process and hitting the ground running out the gate, hitting all sorts of new markets. And with that comes 3 unique bottlings of their gin. Now, so far through their process, I've had their standard gin, which I thought was a really darn good gin. This one is very interesting because this is not only using prickly pear, but it's also using actual rose petals in their distillation process. Now, their base itself is a corn-based spirit, and they're using a vapor chamber for the botanical side of things. And the plus side is they're very transparent about that whole process, and they tell us all the different botanicals they are using, listed not only on the bottle, but on their website, which we'll read them off here real quick. So they're using prickly pear, rose petals, hibiscus, juniper, it's a gin, lavender, grapefruit, pecan, orius root, coriander, anise, ginger, and licorice root. Now, there's a lot of different things going on in here, and from my experience so far, they've really made a good balance overall with using some very unique botanicals to the mix, along with tossing in pecan. Like, of all things, I've never had a gin up until Waterloo that's used pecan. And from what they've told us, that basically these are all coming from Texas as well, so they're all being harvested from the state, which is an even bigger thing in my book. Use the resources around you to make the spirit your own. And on paper, that's what they're doing. Now, obviously, as this gin goes, it's probably going to be made more for a cocktail, but personally, I am a gin fanatic. I started off my spirit journey long before doing reviews, and I love to drink gin neat. So, let's go and jump into it and see how prickly pear and rose meets a gin. Do love their look on these bottles. Very sharp looking, very beautiful. And that color is very striking on things. So, as always, go and like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in the other reviews that I'll be doing over Waterloo Gin, links to those videos will be up above and down below, along with a link to their website so you can check them out for yourself. You can order from there and just learn about the process. I mean, that is pink. That is like bubblegum pink. It is gorgeous in the glass. Very eye-catching. Again, if you're a mixologist, the color of your drink is what's going to make it inviting for people. And that, on its own, very inviting. Alrighty, let's go for notes. And on the nose, the surprising part for me is it has this beautiful, crisp, botanical nose. Very much you get that little bit of the juniper berries, which is obvious, but you also get that underlying earthiness coming from the pecan, and that's very different. You're getting that coriander, a little bit of pepperiness going on in there. And then at the very base of everything, this very light licorice note. It's not heavy-handed in that, and I appreciate that because licorice and star anise can be very heavy, and they can be very off-putting for a lot of people. But you're not finding that here. But what you are finding is that sweet prickly pear. I love prickly pear. When a restaurant has prickly pear on their menu for like a drink or like a prickly pear lemonade, it's in my glass. I'm getting it. I love it. And you're finding that here, and it's very floral and fresh. I wouldn't necessarily say I smell rose on the nose, but you do get like a floral freshness going on. And being that we're at 47% ABV, it doesn't come across like hot or off or bitey at all, as some gins can. That vapor chamber they're using for the process of getting those botanical notes in the gin works out beautifully here. You're also finding that little bit of grapefruit on the nose, but it's very light on that. The standard gin actually had a lot more grapefruit on the nose, a little bit more citrus bite to it. Here you're finding just a little bit of it. It's got that little pinch of citrus in there, but it's not heavy on that. For me, I love the pecan. It's just got this little underlying earthiness, and it kind of just breaks up the gin that can be overpowering for some people, and it just brings in that little bit of grounding to it. But overall, that prickly pear with that bit of floral does come across, and it's beautifully soft, sweet, and approachable. Let's go for a taste, see how it is. The taste is where you're finding the prickly pear. Oh, it's so good. It's fruity. You get the bit of citrus in there from the grapefruit, but that prickly pear is forefront here. Sweet. And it's got this beautiful dark fruit note going on with it as well. That pepperiness from the coriander's there. A little dash of licorice, but it's not heavy-handed even on the taste. The big things here is you're getting a little bit of juniper, which is shocking because there are just some gins that come across very pine sol, very strong in those more juniper forward notes. Here, they don't come through. And rose can be a flavor that can make or break not only a cocktail, but a drink in general. And the rose is very soft. The floralness is approachable, and it's just enough in there that it doesn't come across like perfumey or anything like that. But that prickly pear, that's where it's at. Yeah. The fun thing here is because that hibiscus in there as well, it gives you this hibiscus tea kind of quality to it. That's kind of a little bit more relaxing and gentle and soft and floral. Now it plays really well with that rose characteristic in there too. But for me, the winning flavor on there is the prickly pear. It is juicy, and it's just got this underlying beautiful note going on for it. That little bit of pecan in there is kind of shown up here in the finish. It's got this light bit of earthiness in there, and it balances it out. Again, for me, it's almost like it grounds the whole drink. It doesn't get too airy or lifted off because of all the other things going on. It kind of just brings it back together and reminding it of its place. And it's approachable. And that's what you want to see in a gin, and why people are always so afraid of them, because they can be very juniper forward, and it all comes down to the process. And I gotta say, they do a darn good process. Still no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. This would make amazing cocktails. Like, mixologists need a bottle of this on their shelf just for the sheer fact you could have some beautiful fruity martinis with this without adding a bunch of sugary sweetness. And to me, especially in today's market, I like a good fruity drink. I'm not going to complain about one. I love something that's got some pizzazz and fruitiness to it as much as I love single barrel proof bourbons. So when I can have something sweet that's not clotting sweet or sugary sweet, I'm all on board. And they nailed it with that. Alrighty. Let's talk about a grade for this one. So this is typically going to be priced right on the $40 price point. And to be honest, you have a craft distillery distilling and bottling this all on their own, taking gin and lifting it up besides being a standard run-of-the-day gin. You're using prickly pear hibiscus. Even some rose petals into the mix. And for me, the pecan is what really sets this one different as well. And I give it a good solid, I'd say easy, A-. It's approachable, priced accordingly for craft, and the process shines. It's beautiful, easy to be sipped on neat, but you could easily put this into a cocktail and enjoy it that way. Either way, I don't think you can go wrong with this bottle, and I hope to see it on more shelves coming soon. And again, if you're interested in learning more about Waterloo Gin, a link to their website will be down in the description area below. Go show them some love. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Waterloo Gin, hibiscus, and prickly pear gin. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing through the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might